Hey everyone, it's so good to be here and so fun to do like an impromptu. Wait. Nick, you can hear this.
See.
This. Okay. So
There we go. Yeah, there was
now
like an echo
yeah.
because we had the stream on YouTube.
Yes,
So.
exactly. So very, very happy to have everyone here. Very happy to be doing this. We have a lot of like OGs in the house. Ubercast is here, Goat Child, Raider fan, Frank, and I love how you guys have conversations with each other.
We should just open up like a chat so they can just like.
Yes.
That would be a good idea. Maybe maybe like a coffee hour where they can just chat together.
Yes, that actually there's something very, very cool.
We're not even present, you know.
There's actually something very cool on Patreon where you guys can we can set up a chat and then
wait, no. What's that thing called that I use?
Discord.
Discord.
Yeah, but I don't know how to use that yet.
It's super cool. I have used it and it's very effective. We can open up a Discord so you guys can talk amongst each other.
Yes.
Without in real time, without leaving comments and stuff. So
yeah, that would be really, really cool. Raider fan, thank you very much. I got these actually for when we were in Mexico City. My Aunt Patty gave them to me.
Yeah.
So she's been on
but
the
you've
show.
been wearing stuff like this since I've known you.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like, I don't even see it that much.
Yeah, Raider always notices that kind
He's
of
an earring guy.
Yes. So we're very happy to have you guys. Thank you so much for being here. David Galvan, thank you. Wings for Marie. Yes, Tool. We have a lot to say about Tool as well. We're very, very happy with all the bands I think that we saw.
Definitely. Every band was just fantastic.
Yeah. And just for those of you who don't know this, we're going to be talking about the POWERTRIP Festival.
Yes.
In Indio, California.
We're gonna have a little unboxing at the end.
That's the ticket. That was your ticket in. So
well, yeah. But yeah, we're gonna show them like the ticket and then the box, right?
Yes. Yeah, but that was your ticket. Like that box
that's what
is
you got.
what you received.
Yeah.
When you like.
Well, we did take a picture with this, right? Like.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe people didn't know that was the ticket, you know? So I thought it was really cool because obviously we've been going to concerts a lot more lately since we have the channel. And now, I don't know, even recently I was thinking like it kind of sucks that now you don't even get a ticket anymore. It's all digital and you get a QR code and then it's gone. It's gone from your life. Sometimes like some apps will save it for you, but like unless you make a list and keep track,
which I made when on the plane on the flight home. Alexia was sleeping and we got all of us got like 3 seats. The plane was half full or half empty.
Yeah.
So Alexia went on to sleep and then I was like, well, I'm not really tired, even though I was super tired. But then I was like, okay, let's write down every band we've seen since we've moved. And it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Like I was like at 90 something just since we've moved here. So without Mexico and
yeah.
But yeah. So and then tomorrow, on Monday, Peter Gabriel.
Yes, that's our next
she
big
bought
concert.
tickets for Yes, and I was like, oh God, why?
She bought. Yeah. Nick was like, there's no original members going.
Well, I mean, there's only what? There's no Rick Wakeman, no Chris Squire, no John Anderson. It's like for me, that is not Yes, and since I'm more of a Genesis fanboy,
I know.
But it's gonna be
we get to see them both. We don't. I mean, not both, but we're also the musical band. The musical box is also coming, so we could also see that as a Genesis. But I mean, I think it's really cool that we're going to see Peter Gabriel and Yes, and then if we see the musical box.
Well, it's Steve. Who's in the band? Who's left? Steve
Hackett.
No, that's Genesis. Oof.
Howe, Steve Howe.
Yes.
Yes. I thought you were talking about like Genesis for a second because we were talking about Peter Gabriel.
Just like
so Rudy is in the house. Hello, Rudy.
Hey, Rudy.
And Raider fan has a question for us. He said, "Did other family members go with you to the show?" Yes. So it was a whole group of us. It was in total there was 7 of us. And so it was Nick and I, and then my sister Fernanda and her fiance Matt. They're recently engaged. And then you guys met both of them.
They were on the
What did you guys do, Jack?
We did Jack Johnson, and then I think I don't know. We did something else, and then Fernanda and Nirvana did something with you.
Rush.
Oh yeah, Rush.
Yeah. And
then our good friend Yoda.
Yes. Who I hadn't seen since like a long time, but Yoda and I went to high school together, and his name is not Yoda, it's Jorge.
Yeah, but his name is Yoda because he used to be a goalkeeper, and he would move around like this, like Yoda in Attack of the Clones, right?
Yeah.
And that's why they call him Yoda. So yeah, that's his name.
In high school he was always the goalie whenever soccer was played. So but yeah, and then Nirvana, my sister, was also there, and
Jorge.
like my stepdad Jorge, and so it was a lot of fun. There was always a group of us, and we stayed all together in an awesome Airbnb. The Airbnb itself was very cool. Yeah. Oh, and Frank is saying that, yeah, we played with Matt on the channel. That's very true. Matt and Fed, when we went to Ale and Andres' house, Matt was playing the bass.
Yeah, he plays the bass.
Yeah.
He's a what do you call it?
Optometrist.
But he's also a kick-ass bass player.
Yes.
I'm super happy he's going to be part of the family.
Yes.
He's a really cool guy. I love it. And for me to say that... That's, but so yeah, let's start at the beginning. So we left Denver, right? And
very
early. We took a flight to San Diego, which you have never been to San Diego?
No,
I was in San Diego last time when I was like 7. We went to SeaWorld, my parents. So I didn't really recognize anything, but I did recognize when we went to Palm Springs. I've been there. I think the heat. But so we went to San Diego, and then we had the crazy idea to go to Mexico.
Oh yeah.
So we drove to Mexico, to Tijuana, just to
because
have tacos.
Fed and Matt were getting there. Like everyone got there the same day. This was Thursday, the day before my birthday, October 5th was the day we got there, and the first concert of the weekend was the next day. So we got there, and Fed and Matt were gonna get there at around 10 in the morning, and our flight landed at 7:45, but the drive was 2.5 hours. So the plan was
let's wait for them.
Yeah, the plan was that Yoda, who lives in Tijuana, was going to pick us up in San Diego, and then we were going to go driving directly to our Airbnb in Indio. However, I was texting Yoda, and I was like, "Hey, we're on the plane, everything's good." And then he forgot. He didn't forget. He thought this was happening on Friday. So the crazy thing was that he was on his way to work, and he was almost there,
like a block away.
And then he had to turn around and make
up an excuse that he was not. I hope he.
I know. I don't know if we should be
why are you talking about that?
Okay, so anyway, he was able to come and pick us up, and then he's like, "But I still have to get my stuff in Tijuana." So that's why we went.
We went to Mexico, and we had some tacos, real legit Mexican tacos. And I'd never crossed the border in a car. It was so easy to go into Mexico. It's okay, if you have weapons and cocaine in your back, just go. No search, nothing. I don't know why.
Well, it's random.
I guess,
if they search your car.
So we went to Mexico, then we went to Jorge's house, and we met his family. Beautiful people. His
my
wife and
niece.
his daughter.
I hadn't seen Yoda in 10 years.
Me neither, yeah.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this was even before we moved away from Puerto Vallarta, like where we met. We hadn't even moved.
He was like
he moved
very
first.
small. He was like
he was 20.
Like less.
Yeah.
But when I met him, he was like 17.
Was either 19 or 20. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, but then he got kind of like nervous because he had never crossed the border with like a European citizen, and then you had your, of course, your American citizenship, and we were in the wrong lane for some reason. There was like 3 lanes, a speed lane, and then a normal one, and he was in the wrong one, so he got super nervous. But I was like I was like,
yeah.
But he was literally like concerned.
Yeah.
And then, well, to make things really quickly, we got through the border, but it was like it was such a trip to go back into the States because
you could tell the difference.
It's like 2 worlds
immediately.
Literally.
It's crazy.
And then all the stuff they were selling in the streets before getting to the border.
I was wondering like if it was gonna be like if Tijuana was gonna be a more Americanized version of Mexico.
It's Mexico.
It's Mexico 100%. Yeah. There's no question. And then you get to the States
and you're like suddenly like everything's clean, and it's so bizarre because you're literally like 1 second you're in a third world country and then you like it changes completely.
Yeah.
Even the air smells different.
Yeah.
I know that's just psychological, but it is, for some reason. It's not that I'm saying that it's prettier, it's just so much cleaner and different.
Yes.
And the streets are nice and smooth, and in Mexico everything is just like okay, but we lived there, like half of our life. So it's funny.
So Great Scott is here. I just wanted to take a second to say hi to Great Scott. Rudy, Jim X is here. And
there's a lot of people in the house today.
I know.
How many people are watching?
13 like OGs. Rudy, Raider, Jim X,
Frank,
Scott, Mr. Wondrous, Great Scott. Such a great time.
It's a great time together.
So I don't know if you guys care about all of these
details,
but it's part of our trip.
Yeah, so now we're going. So
should we tell the McDonald's?
Yes, of course. Okay. So we're going on the drive to Indio. Just so hot there. It's the hottest place I've ever been on earth. Like I think they film movies there. They're like on Mars or where nothing can live, Yeah. So okay, so we're on our way to Indio. So she decides, of course, because we have to go to the bathroom at least 8 times on any trip. So we go to this, like literally the first thing we see is a McDonald's. So we go in and she goes to the bathroom and we're like, okay, let's eat something, even though we don't eat McDonald's very much. So we ordered like what? Like this little.
You guys ordered like a burger and nuggets, and then I just got like a cone.
Yeah, and we got a cone. So we sit down. So to make this really quickly, we hear
guys,
like the
this is
loudest.
So crazy. Okay.
We hear the loudest bang. It sounded like a bomb.
Yeah,
because you said it sounded like a gun.
But you're right.
A gun is like is like. This sounded like an explosion. It was an explosion. I literally got. So it suddenly rains glass over me. So a car had driven through the freaking door. I mean, or at least it tried to. And the door and the window and kind of like the whole railing of the door stopped the car. We have a picture. I would love to post it, but we don't have it available. So this car was gonna run through the McDonald's, and we were literally gonna get like killed.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen.
So like the person, I guess, is that
those were 2 females, and they were stoned out of their mind.
Yeah.
They got out of the car and they're like, "Oh my god," and then the people that working on that lady that was helping us. Oh my god, I'm so happy nothing happened to her because she was in the. If the door wouldn't have stopped the car, I mean, we would have gotten hit, and I don't know how many people.
Yeah, because it wasn't just glass. There was a frame, like a metallic frame of some sort, holding like 2 pieces of big glass together.
But even the road, if you see the picture,
part of the tiles came off on the outside,
and the whole thing. Like I was like eating my ice cream afterwards, and I was like, I hope there's no glass.
I was shaking like when this happened. Yeah, it was bad, and she ended up leaving. Like the girl that ran in to the glass left.
They went into the car and escaped. And obviously, the workers at McDonald's they took pictures of
the license plate.
So stupid because they should have just stayed, and it would have been less of a sentence. But well, so that was one adventure. Now the other thing is that during this 3-hour ride into the desert, we didn't have air conditioning, so it was
sad,
so hot. It was, and we are so used to having air like in our car and here, and it was insane. It was so oh my god, I was just drinking like Pedialyte and water because it's so dry, and then Yoda had the air on, and it would
come out sometimes, like
sometimes
cold,
it would work,
but then it wouldn't, and then the air was hotter.
It was just blowing hot
Everything
air.
was hot.
In the I don't know if you've ever been to India, but
there's no relief. Like here in Colorado, it could be a really, really hot day, and you roll the window down, and you're like, okay, there's at least a chill in the air. There are some days when it's very, very hot, and you do need the AC. Very few days, but it was just so strange to me that the windows were down, and I was still just as hot. Everything was hot. Like I was just grateful that the seats weren't leather, because otherwise I would have just.
Yeah, it was just like it was quite like an adventure. But then we got there, we got to the Airbnb, and that was beautiful, and we all rested.
Yeah.
There was the pool, and so very cool. So, but so you want to start the first night?
Yes. So the first night was like kind of uneventful, but then the first night at the Airbnb.
No,
and
then the first
day,
concert.
Was just my birthday, so I didn't want to skip over that because it was my birthday. We went to brunch.
No. I'm saying the first night, but your birthday.
Yeah.
Not the night we got there. That was the 5th.
Yeah. So the first day that we were there, we went to brunch to a very cool place that Lee suggested. So thank you very much to Lee. He's someone that we met at like a meet and greet through the channel, and we're very good friends now.
We went to Kansas with him and Citizen Dan, and what else did we see? The guy on the piano,
Ben Folds.
Yes. That's it.
Yes.
We haven't done more.
No, I believe that's it. But
and they came to my birthday.
Yes.
So
yes. It was a very cool brunch place. Very, very delicious food. We went to Will Call to pick up the tickets because the tickets were supposed to be shipped to us in Mexico, and they never arrived. So now we had to pick them up at Will Call. That was insanely hot. That was when we were also just dying, but it was a lot of fun. Okay, and then
show them
So I want to show them this first.
So this is what we got.
Yes. So this is the ticket that you would receive.
Should I open it?
Yeah, I'd say we open it.
So you take this off. So you got this. This was a bracelet because there are all these sections.
Yeah.
Where you would have to scan your bracelet.
Your entry ticket.
Yeah, because but you had to scan it like 5 times to get to the stage, because there was a section in the back, section in the middle, another section, another section, and then I think another section, the pit, where we couldn't go in.
No.
Yeah.
And we didn't get those because it was all standing. There was no seating. And I was like, I am going to die. Like, if I'm not going to be able to sit down.
That's the ticket.
So this is the ticket. That's what it looks like. And then these were our seats. And it was very cool because it has my birthday on there.
And it says Flores.
Oh, man, I know. I like that it said Flores as well.
For those of you who don't.
So this was basically not for you to enter. It was more to help you to your seats. But then the second day, it helped us
scan them.
Yeah.
So this is a little patch.
Yeah.
You can put on your jeans, and this is what Alexia's wearing.
Yep. A little pin.
And then so the thing that's in here, show them. So it's like a little set. You want to show?
Oh yeah. So then there's these little pieces, right? And they form.
I didn't know what it was, and then they formed it.
Set. This is awesome.
Yeah. A little stage, I guess.
Yeah, it's a stage made out of cardboard, and it's very cool because I thought this was such a neat way of just giving you something to remember.
And it feels like it doesn't feel cheap. This is
it's all hard
plastic.
Yeah.
It's hard. Look at this. I mean, it's
Yeah,
really, really
it's not
cool.
plastic. It's like cardboard.
Yeah,
but it's hard.
Yeah, I love that it's like this is not gonna break apart. This is gonna last you. And look, you can see the road from the desert,
which is cool because we drove there. You know, most everyone, I guess, had to drive there. Yeah. Oh, Michelle is here, and Thomas is here, and everyone is having a blast in the comments. I love it.
Yeah, we were just saying we should do more, like we should go live and just maybe open up a space so you guys can talk, you know. I mean,
I feel like when we've done that, nobody really like shows interest. So if you guys would be interested, let us know, you know, because that would be
no, that they can just talk.
Oh, yeah. A commune. Yes. I'm sorry.
Even if we're not here, they can at least get together and talk about music. Yeah. But I mean, that would be kind of weird because, right?
Yeah.
Because it would be like an empty room. Yeah. No, let's not do that. Let's do the Discord and then they can just chat whenever they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got the tickets and then what else? Oh, so unfortunately we didn't know the magnitude of this concert. I had no idea. There were 80,000 people. And so just to get there from the Airbnb, which was what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think when we looked it up and we booked it, it was supposed to be like 8 minutes or something. And
but
we were
like, it took
like,
us
perfect.
like an hour from the Airbnb the first night because there was so much traffic. Everything was insanity. But thankfully, Iron Maiden started their set 20 minutes late. And
because of the traffic.
Yeah, and then they also started with some, I don't know what they played, a song, because all their set was about future. So they played Somewhere in Time because it's all set in the future, that album.
Yeah.
So, and they played one song, which I don't remember, and they played the Blade Runner theme, which unfortunately we did miss.
Yeah.
But we were still like walking, you know, we were walking. Because from the car to the stage, it was just like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was
we
crazy.
had to get people like that were like
that would pedal us. It was a pedal bike that would take you because it was just so much walking, and we still took like 20 minutes.
If we wouldn't have gotten the pedal bike,
it's like 40.
And so I started filming because they started the first song, which was Somewhere in Time, which is one of my favorite Iron Maiden songs. So I could hear it, and I started filming it, and I'm gonna upload that video because the solos, they hadn't played that since 1986, by the way. They played Alexander the Great, first time ever in history of Iron Maiden. They played it live. That's the one that I uploaded. So now we're also gonna start uploading all the videos. Because I didn't want to like spoil it. I first wanted to do this.
Exactly.
But the set was amazing. I mean, you want to like give them the set list, or is that too much?
We like pull it up and put it on the screen. I could try. Let's see.
No, you don't have to.
Just to say it.
Yeah. So mostly they played like literally like
here we go.
Songs from Somewhere in Time, which is literally one of the proggiest albums.
There we go. Hold on. There. Okay. There's like this ad thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they played, for those Maiden fans out there. So they played Caught Somewhere in Time, Stranger in the Strangeland. So we did see them, but like walking to the stage. Like a Stranger in the Strangeland, we were literally walking.
When we got there, guys, okay. So the second and third day, we did not repeat this again. The same mistake. We got there much earlier, but you got there and you just saw people, no stage. The venue, the Empire Polo Club in Indio, California. I don't know how long it is, but
like
all you would see was people and then vendors.
That's wrong. It's bigger than 5 football.
Yeah, that's why I should have looked up like how the acreage of it because it just felt so vast. It was so massive and it was so overwhelming because it was dark already and music was already playing. And you're just kind of like
the first night I was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is way too big. Like I'm getting like, I don't know, anxiety. There's way too much people here.
Yeah.
So, but then when we got to our seats, I was like, okay, everything's fine. You know, it was just like that shock of like,
Yeah.
where am I?
Yeah.
And there's like one of my favorite bands up there
Mhm.
playing, and I'm missing it. So, so Caught Somewhere in Time, Stranger in a Strange Land, The Writing on the Wall, that's from
Mhm.
the new album.
Yeah.
Days of Future Past, The Time Machine, The Prisoner. Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. Death of the Cells, Can I Play with Madness? That's from Seventh Son. Heaven Can Wait, Somewhere in Time. Alexander the Great, that's the song. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Then Fear of the
Yes.
Dark was
That
amazing.
was
Alexia
great.
was singing along with this one. Iron Maiden, and then the encore was Hell on Earth. The Trooper, Wasted Years. I was crying
Yeah,
during that
Wasted
song.
Years was
And
awesome.
then they literally closed it. Always look at the bright side of your life. But it was like a 90-minute set, and it
Yeah.
was. I mean, Iron Maiden are still. They play so well.
Mhm.
Their sound was amazing. The Bruce Dickinson, he was jumping all over the stage, and
They all
every
had
song.
so much energy.
Yeah, and I love that Bruce. That's what I loved about Iron Maiden. At every song, he would take 2-3 minutes and
Yeah.
talk to the audience.
Mhm.
Didn't happen a lot with other bands. Some bands didn't even say a word, but I love that about Bruce. And it was just a good set, and everyone was on their A game. And
Yes.
Janik Gers, the guy that's always like
Yes.
circling and
He's
dancing, and
all of them. I mean, my respects for
they're in
the
their
age that
70s.
they have.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Even my stepdad, who feels like he's getting older, and
He's in his 50s,
like
right?
20 years younger than them. Yeah, he was like, "Oh my God!" When I saw them, I felt like, okay, they're 72 and they're still doing this. Like, okay, another 20 more years. So like, it was just so fulfilling to see them, and it was awesome to be amongst so many people that were obviously enjoying themselves and having a great time. I mean, obviously, when we posted the videos, several of you said, "Where's the crowd?" Because
Behind us.
yeah, it was behind. We were very, very close, and
the only thing that you can see from the videos that I
Yeah.
post is the pit. And the first day, it was a little empty.
Yeah.
Because I mean, on the third day, that was full. Like with
yeah.
Metallica, it was, you couldn't even like, yeah,
Yeah,
it was like.
it was full.
So I think a lot of people just didn't care for Iron Maiden or Guns N' Roses, because Guns N' Roses, I mean, their set. Now I just really quickly, I love Guns N' Roses. That was literally one of the first bands that I got into and learned the lyrics.
Oh,
and
Matt, I just wanted to say hi. Hi, Matt. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Hey.
And for everything you do for us. I'm following along with the comments and kind of highlighting those. Mr. Wondrous is saying it looked like its own city. It really, it felt like a city. It really did. And it was just so big. They had everything there, medical tents,
food of all sorts, of every like food imaginable.
Yeah.
Water was very cheap, just $2
Yeah, that was
a bottle.
my respects to POWERTRIP for that, because the fact that water was so cheap
they
was
could have
so
charged
important.
$5 or more.
They could have, and they didn't. And I'm sure it was also, they'd rather give cheap water than have a bunch of people get heat stroke, because it was hot. It was very, very hot, and people were arriving there early.
It was so hot that Kirk Hammett from Metallica forgot to play Nothing Else Matters. He literally said, "It's too hot."
Yeah.
Like he was playing Nothing Else Matters, and then he's like, "It's too hot."
Yeah.
Then he started over.
Yeah, he started it over.
I don't know. I'm sure there's videos of that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Check it out. But
And to answer David Molina, do you feel they were loud enough? Like, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I thought the volume was good, but we were very close. I did hear that some people in the back,
it was louder in the back for some reason. It was just more like,
but some people said they couldn't hear Tool at all, and that they couldn't hear Axl Rose at all. Which,
well, Axl Rose, there's nothing to hear.
Yeah, let's talk about Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, now we're getting into Guns N' Roses. So I mean, that's why I said I'm a huge fan. I think their music is great, but it hasn't really aged that well. Because now, I mean, the music is great, and Slash was great, and the other guitar player was even better. It was very technical. He was like Steve Vai sorts of like chops, but the songs didn't cross over because Axl has no voice. So he sounded literally like Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse.
It was very sad.
it just sounded, when he would do his like deep voice, he sounded amazing.
Great.
But when he would do the typical Axel, he was just that, it wasn't there. It was just not there. And you will see the in the video, and he just sounded like, I don't know, it just sounded more like a parody.
Yeah.
You know, it was very sad because,
Yeah.
and then also they decided to play 3 hours, so we were like,
Yeah.
done, man.
The
At end.
rumors that I heard were that Guns N' Roses didn't want to change their set. Like, they're on tour, I guess, and this was their set on this tour. And from what I heard, they didn't want to change it. They just wanted to do the set that they've been doing, which is fine.
But why
But
so
it's
long?
so long. And I don't know. Since Iron Maiden started late, then Guns N' Roses started late because Iron Maiden still did everything that they were going to do.
And we had to
which,
wait for like
you.
90 minutes between Maiden and
so by that time, everyone was tired.
We were like so tired. We were just like, oh my God, when is this going to stop? You know, and you don't really want to leave because you're there. But then we started leaving, and then they played the last song, which was Paradise City.
Yeah.
And that song was just amazing. But again, the voice was just not there. And I just feel bad because I'm sure when he wrote the songs, you know, he didn't have that in mind, that he couldn't really perform them. But again, there is no excuse because Rob Halford, 40 years, he wrote the songs that he did, and he did them exactly the same.
Yes.
And Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah.
So it's just about, I guess he was chain smoking. He didn't take care of his voice.
I know.
You know? So,
and I know that from what you've told me, and I do want to watch that Flight 666, that Iron Maiden has led a very healthy lifestyle. And it's hard to say that about a lot of metal and rock bands, I feel, you know. And
yeah, they've always been, they're like Rush, you know. They come home from the concert, they go to bed, they don't party and don't drink.
So Guns N' Roses.
But yeah, so that was the first
bueno.
And you'll see what the videos.
And I mean, that was the day that we kind of like left the stage.
Yeah, right? We just started to walk out because we were like done with the 3-hour set.
We went to buy food.
And then, and then the good thing is, since everybody was kind of like still watching, we got out of there really quickly.
Oh yeah, we left like
was as soon as the song was done, and then fireworks is like, okay, first night over, and we were like literally at the exit, so that was perfect.
Yeah, right? yeah, exactly. And it was crazy, guys, because this place was so big that there were constantly people walking around. It wasn't like everyone's at their seat or everyone's watching. It was just the craziest thing. I mean, I hadn't been to a music festival this big.
That's also, since you're saying this, a lot of people, like when they see the videos, it's like, what's wrong with the crowd? They're not animated. Yeah. No, but everybody was just doing their thing, you know.
Yeah.
Getting food and going to the bathroom is a voyage, you know. It's like an entire adventure.
Gosh. Yeah.
So that's why you see people, and then the pit was kind of like, I don't know, but I mean, if you saw the crowd in the back, they were like, or me, I was like, every song I was like singing along, jumping.
Jorge actually said that like my stepdad, he was like, oh, the guy who enjoyed this the most out of everyone was Nick. Like Nick was there.
Yeah,
Nick
even
wanted to squeeze out every second.
Yeah, even even the Guns N' Roses said, I was singing along every song and I was enjoying it. It was just like, I hope that maybe his vocal cords start to heat up, and he would suddenly sound like he would sound. And even that lady in front of us, she was like, yes, when he would sing like the record, but then he would try and it would just sound like, it's like pushing.
Yeah,
and he couldn't.
I know. But like Rudy says, he sounded poor when he saw him in 2014. So
yeah, like, it's just like, I guess
I really feel.
But I mean, also without him, they're not really Guns N' Roses. But we're lucky that we got to see Slash in the band because he had left already. So we were so lucky because we saw Iron Maiden with Bruce Dickinson, who had left in 1999, and Adrian Smith, who had left in 88, and they were all together. We saw the original lineup. And we saw Guns N' Roses with Axl Rose, with Slash, who had left.
Don't give away the surprise that you're going to give away, though.
What? No.
Okay.
So just like, well, I guess we'll have to go to day 2. But what I love is that we saw all those bands with the original
Yeah.
members mostly.
Yeah.
You know, not
And
like Yes or that we only
yes,
get to see one guy.
exactly. And to what Richard is saying, yes, obviously some people were there for the music, some people were there for the party, some
Yeah.
people were there because, for example, my sisters,
I don't know.
they were there because
Just to have fun.
just because my stepdad turned it into like a family
Yeah.
event,
They
like
didn't
my
know the
birthday
music.
gift.
They were
my,
more
like,
they were more excited about like they didn't really like Maiden. They liked AC/DC because
Yeah.
AC/DC is so much more easy to
yes,
listen to and
yes.
enjoy. And Guns N' Roses, I guess, as well. Iron Maiden is just more technical. You have to be a music fan to understand
Yeah.
what they're doing out there.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was day one.
Mhm.
So I guess
Mhm.
nothing else happened crazy.
No, I guess
Just that we're a little late.
yeah, we were late and we like
And overwhelmed. But once we got to the seats, I was like, oh, that's where we're sitting? Great.
yeah, it felt that was very cool because the seats that you had on the first day were the same seats you were going to have the second and third day, so it kind of became like we got to know our neighbors on the third day.
Oh yeah,
my sister's boyfriend was like talking
Matt,
to
the
them.
guy that was sitting behind us, and his wife, shout out to them because we did give them
Yeah,
a channel.
I don't think his name was Matt.
Oh, then his name was Neil.
Neil.
Because Matt Neil.
Yeah. Was it?
Yes, he told me that. He told me that.
Okay.
But if I got it wrong and he's watching, I'm sorry. But
yeah, so I don't think anything exciting happened.
So,
like you said, we got out of there really quickly.
But also a thing that was different. The first night, I could get out of my seat and walk and be literally by the stage, not by the stage, but in front of the
like in front of the division between the pit and where we were.
Yeah, and that was fine. So that's why I have very cool shots of Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden. The second day, so you want to? Okay,
yeah,
so the second day we got there.
Unless you guys have any questions from like day one, shoot them over.
Answer questions.
And I just to read a few of the like good comments. David Molina says, "I'm surprised I survived the 80s." Yeah, this was intense. I mean, this is kind of speaking overall. It was a challenge because it was many, many hours a day. It was because you would leave your house. Okay, so moving on to the second day, I guess.
Yeah.
We left the house way earlier.
Like 2 hours early.
The concerts would start at about 6:30-ish. Yeah. The first day we left at like 5. And we were like, we're giving ourselves an hour and a half. Not enough. We were late. And Iron Maiden started late. So imagine, it was craziness. But by then the heat was like down, it wasn't as hot anymore. It was nice.
But the first 30 minutes, the sun was just like.
But on the second day, I'm talking about the first
on the drive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, on the drive there. Yeah,
the sun was just killing.
Yeah, but I really want to give props. Also speaking kind of overall to POWERTRIP, everything was so well organized. There were so many bathrooms. Yes, there were porta potties, but guys, there was like a world of porta potties.
And there was water being sprayed on you. You could get free water. Also, you could buy.
Oh yeah, there were water stations.
There were water stations. It was super clean. There were there were only 20 arrests of 80,000 people. 20 arrests and 15 because of intoxication. That's not very much.
No,
of 80,000 people.
No, that's not.
I'm sure 70,000 were drinking.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think like you said, this speaks very highly of the metal crowd because they're not as violent. There was no like drama over the weekend.
Nothing.
Like, I mean, I guess we're kind of giving away the end, but like there was really no like eventful.
I mean, we're also kind of like in an area. We were not in the freaking, back where everybody's crammed together and shit.
That's true.
We were like sitting there.
You would still walk that way and it was fine. There was okay, we're not even mentioning this. There was a Ferris wheel. There was like a photo place where you could take a photo, but which by the way,
there are lines for so many things. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The merch club.
Yeah. Oh my god. The merch tent was enormous.
It was
And there
like
was always a zigzag line inside that merch
Mhm.
tent. And then each day there were merch tents for each of the bands
Mhm.
that are playing.
Mhm.
So there was an Iron Maiden tent the first day, and then a Guns N' Roses tent, and then
Next
there was
day.
a whole POWERTRIP tent for all the POWERTRIP merch, like this.
Oh yeah, show the shirt. So this is the
I
front.
don't have the other shirt. I know.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
Are you serious?
I can go get it if you want, but I don't have it with me. But I also wanted to address this question before we move on to the second day. Did Eddie the Head make an appearance with Iron Maiden?
Yes,
Yes,
of course.
he did.
In full Somewhere in Time outfit, the robot, the cyborg. He was shooting at Bruce Dickinson, and Bruce was on a gun shooting back. It was a whole like I have it on video. I'll post it. But yeah, he came out twice. Once as Somewhere in Time Eddie, and then the samurai.
Yeah.
So,
and Bruce was dressed with this insanely like
hot.
Yeah,
he looked like Mad Max.
Jacket.
He had those Mad Max goggles, and he looked up like dystopian future
with like belt here and like
really cool.
Yeah.
And he was so cool. Like he would always every song
he was very nice.
He would talk, and he's like the best front man ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so now second day, Judas Priest and AC/DC. Holy moly! So Judas Priest. So we got there
super early.
Yeah, and since Ozzy was gonna play, I posted that they played War Pigs.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And that's a little clip that I posted. Cool. But then they started with Electric Eye. I mean the intro of the what is it called? The that song. My God, I've heard it millions of times.
Painkiller.
No.
The
intro of Electric Eye. The Helion.
Okay.
Helion or Helion. I don't know how you pronounce it.
No idea.
But they started with that.
David is asking if our ears were ringing after the show of day one. None of
Nothing.
the days was it too
I didn't
loud.
even wear like protective. It was just very. It was good.
Yeah, I think for one of them I did wear it.
Metallica.
I put them on for Guns N' Roses. Yeah, because I think so, because I feel like it was just, I don't remember if it was Guns N' Roses or AC/DC, but one of them was a little loud, but the sound was amazing. Everything was amazing. So the way they organized the whole thing.
Yeah, and also like the so every band had a different setup as well. Like Iron Maiden was the whole you could see like 3 ginormous monitors.
Yeah.
Like video, screen. And then Guns N' Roses had the same, but then Judas Priest had like a different setup that was like all this craziness happening behind the screen, and then they got like superimposed on. I don't know. Yeah. But just talking about Judas Priest. Sorry. So that day, I rushed through where I was with Iron Maiden at the front, and this guy was just like, "Get out of here! Get out of here! Move!" And I was like, "You get out of here!"
They were extremely controlling of the audience.
Yeah, there was like this. Day. So I didn't know he was a police guy because I couldn't really see him. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm about to you're about to get kicked out," and I'm like, "What's your problem?" And I got really close, and there was like this music blaring, and he's like, "You have to leave because people paid a lot of money to." And you're blocking their view. And I'm like, what? Because it didn't even make sense. They were sitting here watching, and I was like here. So I was not in their way. He was just being a dick. And I was like, well, I also paid a lot of money for these tickets, but okay, get the fuck out of here. Like I literally told him to fuck off. Sorry for the cursing. But he was so rude, at a concert that's so expensive. I think you should also be kind of like nice to the people that and I wasn't drunk, I wasn't doing any crazy stuff, I was not jumping over, and I was just taking video
for you guys.
Yes. So that was just the one, and even to you they did the same thing.
Oh yeah, well, because my sisters were like, oh, come on, let's go. And we wanted to see them, you know.
But Judas Priest said, oh my God, I mean, Rob Halford is such an amazing frontman. He delivered every song that you can hear from the 70s and 80s was being sung exactly the way it is. So here's like the surprise. So it was a little sad, and I even told Alexa, I was like, I told her like in her ear, I'm a little sad that the the, the two guitar players,
Oh, yeah.
Glenn Tipton and KK Downing, they're not here,
Mhm.
but they were replaced by these amazing younger guys who are just they played the solos just like the records.
Mhm.
So that's why for me, Judas Priest's set was the best set of the entire concert, of the entire 6
Yeah.
bands. They played just like the record. It sounded like Dream Theater does,
Yeah.
that they play exactly the same.
Mhm.
That's the way. So they opened up with Electric Eye, Riding on the Wind, Heading Out the Highway, Lightning Strike, Diamonds and Rust, The Sentinel, A Touch of Evil, Turbo Lover. We were
Mhm.
singing that one.
Mhm.
Then Firepower is when Alexia does her crazy dance
Oh,
and her
yeah.
headbang.
Yeah, I posted that on Instagram too, and I'm gonna be posting pictures on Instagram.
Okay.
I wanted to say that earlier, but this Diamonds and Rust is a Joan Baez
Yeah,
cover.
I know. I thought it was
and
Joni
you said
Mitchell.
Joni Mitchell when we were there, and I'm
But
like,
I wanted to
this is
say her.
crazy.
I wanted to say
Like,
her.
yeah,
But
I
that's
know.
the same.
But now it makes sense. Now I'm like, oh, it wasn't Joni Mitchell. I'm just now finding out that it was Joan.
Yeah, I wanted to
Baez.
say Joan, but well, and then they played Firepower, Desert Plains, which is one of my favorite songs. Rapid Fire, The Green Man Alishi, You Got Another Thing Coming, Painkiller.
Mhm.
That we're all dancing, and then the craziest thing happened. Glenn Tipton was brought out because he suffers from
Arthritis.
so he can't really play. But he was there, the
Oh.
original guitar player and like founder of Judas Priest, and he played the encore, Hellbent for Leather, Metal Gods, Breaking the Law, and Living After Midnight. And Living After Midnight, we did a cool video that Matt edited,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna upload that later. But
he had
this
a
set,
3D camera.
oh yeah,
Or not 3D, 360 camera.
so it was filming the front and the back,
and us
and
at the same time.
But yeah, I mean, this set, like Judas Priest, if you can see them live, go see them. I think they're the best metal act alive right now.
Yes, I
Better
agree.
than anything else. Better than, like, we have seen some new metal acts, some old metal acts. We saw Metallica. This is the band to see because the
Yeah.
songs are from the 70s, 80s, 90s,
Mhm.
and they just released a new song. And I made a video yesterday. I haven't released it.
Oh,
reaction.
cool. Okay.
That's the definition of the ultimate metal band, Judas Priest. For me,
They were great. They were amazing. My sisters were having a lot of fun.
yeah, and because they're still
Nirvana
so
would always
accessible.
love that Painkiller, that song Painkiller, and she came like and just hung out with us, because during the concerts there were other places that you could be and other places that you could sit if you wanted to. That was the cool thing. If you paid for seats up front,
you could sit on the
you
grass.
could always go like to areas that were not available to people. Like there were things unlocking as you like were advancing, but some things were for everyone, like the bars, the food trucks, or the food stands and stuff. But there was this really cool grassy area with a huge screen that you could put your blanket down.
That's
and
basically
just, like,
where we
watch.
stayed for the entire AC/DC set because we were so tired. So I was taking video literally like just laying down, and I mean, the first hour I was by the stage, and oh my god, AC/DC,
Yeah.
so good. I mean, Brian Johnson, he
Mhm.
sang his heart out, and then is it Angus, the guy that with the school uniform? He played so good, and that
He
was
was a
another thing
hoot.
because you could
Oh.
see Brian Johnson.
Hold on. Are we talking about AC/DC now?
Yeah. She was wearing that the entire time. But
These
yeah,
are-
they played all the greatest hits, and yeah. But that looks so cool. There's drone shots that you can look up on the internet of thousands of these, just like, and there's drones flying. So I think this is gonna be on DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah.
The concert, because
yeah.
there's so many people. Oh, and then they were filming us. So these
Where-
camera guys, they got very
But on
close.
what band was it? Do you remember?
That was. I even said that's the song. Oh, Metallica.
I was gonna say Metallica.
Sad
Okay.
but true.
Okay.
When I was doing like the
Sad
headbang.
but true.
Yeah, that was day 3. So this
Yeah.
camera crew got really close, and I think since we're doing like this I don't know, we were like very animated. So they were like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
like in our faces. And then we really got animated because it was like, holy moly, they're like filming this, you know. But yeah, so AC/DC and Judas Priest were just amazing. And AC/DC also,
Oh, let me look
they
up their
played
set list.
a lot, right?
Yes.
And then there was this. He had an ego ramp that would go like 100 feet into the crowd, and then at the end he played like this amazing solo for like 10 minutes. I got it on video, and it was like this thing that would go up, and he was in the middle, right?
Yeah.
What do you call this? Like a ramp?
Like a
I don't know. But an extra stage, you elevated him, and he was just like, and then he got on the floor, and he's 75. I don't know how old he is, but
I know.
he kicked some butt. Every song he finished it with a jump, you know, and I
we
mean,
go.
so the set list for, oh my god, look. So if you want
long.
blood, you've got it. That's the first song. Back in Black, Demon Fire, Shut Down in Flames, Thunderstruck. Have a Drink on Me, Held Bells, Shut in the Dark, Stiff Upper Lip, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, Shoot to Thrill, Sin City, Giving the Dog a Bone, Rock and Roll Train, You Shook Me All Night Long. That was, of course, Dog Eat Dog, High Voltage, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be, Riff Raff, Highway to Hell, Whole Lotta Rosie, Let There Be Rock. That was the longest one. And then TNT, and then For Those About to Rock. So 24 songs.
Which I heard We Salute You is what they close with every show that they've ever done. Please let us know if that's true, because I overheard someone saying that, like, oh, they always close with this one, dude. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I'm like, oh, did you know that?
Yes. No, that was, but yeah, I mean, I think that was also my favorite day because there was so much positive energy. Judas Priest just like killed it up there. And AC/DC, Brian was constantly smiling. He was sweating, but he was there, you know, he was showing, they hadn't played in 7 years. So,
I know.
So I know. They did a
very,
hell
very
of a
cool.
show. Yeah.
It was very cool. And a lot of people are just in the comments talking about the warning. But David Molina said he saw AC/DC in 1979 with Bon Scott. That's amazing.
That's the first vocalist.
That is so cool.
Unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh, Scissor Lift is what it's called. The Scott said Scissor Lift.
Oh, okay,
yeah. It was crazy. And then yes, Marley is in the house.
Marley's just like wanting to sleep, or
he just wants to lay down. Poor little baby. And I feel like he's camera shy.
So now on day 3, that's like the day that was a little bit different. So we got there again on time. So Tool like do things a little bit different. Tool basically is, I mean, the music is amazing, right? But I think they were not the right fit for this concert because you could not see them. It was completely dark.
The vocalist, you could just see his
He was
silhouette.
basically like on some kind of staircase, and you could see his like silhouette. And you could see, basically, you could only see Danny Carey on the drums. That's it. The guitar player and the bass player was somewhere. And all they basically did is show like these creepy images, which were pretty cool. I mean, if you were high or something or under the influence, it must have been amazing, because even us, I mean, like, we were just chilling on the grass looking at the stars because there was nothing to see. You couldn't see the musicians, and the images were kind of just disturbing. They were very like, I don't know, they were just, I don't know if you've ever seen like Geiger, like the guy, the alien.
Oh yeah,
who drew the alien, that kind of stuff. But the music was so like, it was so, that one was the loudest, I think.
Oh yeah.
I was like laying in the grass and I could feel my body like.
Yeah. It was very.
And it was just like a like psychedelic. It was being like, I think everybody was just like, okay, well, there's nothing to see, and that's why I think it was the wrong band to play. If they would have, I don't know, invited Megadeth or Anthrax.
I feel like it was an amazing concert, but it was a lot to take in. It was the last day. Yeah. It was exhausting, guys, because this is what I was going to say earlier. So we would get there, like, let's say day 2 and 3. We got there at 4:30. No, 4:30 we would leave. So we got there at 5. There was less traffic. They organized it better. So we had time to walk around and do all this stuff. So we'd get there at 4:30 and we wouldn't get back to the Airbnb until like 12 or 1.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very long amount of time for me, and my back didn't suffer,
it was 134 songs in total. But that was just so I think the music was just amazing. I mean, Tool is such a great band to listen to, but I would have loved to see close-ups. I would have loved to see the band moving. They were just standing there. That's also like Dream Theater are not very like, they don't move a lot because it's so difficult to play.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least Jordan Rudess shows his keyboard. You know, remember how he moves it around?
Yeah.
Or John Petrucci, or just like, it's a technical band, but you see them.
Yeah.
So Tool, you could not see. It's like they're playing, but that's just who they are. Like, I've heard this before, way like in 2004. I was like, there's this band and they never show themselves. Alex maybe told me.
Yeah.
And you basically just see like lights and stuff, but you don't see the band. You only hear the music. And I was like, that's kind of weird. But yeah, that's the way it was. So the whole energy of the place was just, everybody got like really tired and really. And then Metallica comes out. And obviously the place went wild. But do you want to add anything to Tool? I mean, the music was just amazing.
It was
amazing.
Yeah, it was the perfect rest, I feel like, from just an exhausting time. Like Murdoch says, 3 days of festival is exhausting, no matter how good the band. And hi, Murdoch. But yes, it really is. So Tool, I feel, was there to give you a little time to like just lay back and enjoy. And that's literally what we did. We were at our seats for a little bit and then we went to the blankets.
It was,
and we were all just laying at the blankets. It was really cool because
it was like a picnic. We had food.
My sister's fiance, Matt, had this 360 camera, right, that we talked about. He set it up with the tripod with the blankets, and we were all at the blankets. No one was at their seats during Tool. And the camera was filming us as we came and went.
Yeah, and it's super sweet because her stepdad started hugging Matt because he's gonna be marrying his daughter.
Yes.
And then he was hugging me, and because he was like, "Thank you, Nick, for bringing us all together because I'm the music freak of the family."
Yeah, it was very cute.
So very sweet, and he had like a moment, and he was also like, I guess, just tripping with the music. It was very psychedelic.
Yes,
this experience.
It really was. However, at those screens, at that screen that we talked about with the picnic area, I wish they would have shown the trippy images instead of just the still of them, the stage and Danny Carey, because the image was very far away. It was basically blurry. Like you couldn't even really see it. It was just
but the images, I didn't care for the images.
I would have preferred to see the images like this and just like, be enjoying myself with the images.
There was, I don't know what kind of mushrooms they ate, but
but it was a lot of fun, and I feel like that would have been a lot more enjoyable to me. But I really enjoyed it. I really, really did. However, the comments of the people say that it just didn't fit in.
Yeah, and a lot of people
down the energy.
A lot of people even skipped because when Metallica were about to start, so it was always like an hour between bands, so we could like go to the bathroom, have food, blah blah. So we got to our places like 30 minutes before Metallica started, and then these two guys that we met arrived, and we're like, "Where were you?" "Oh, we don't care for Tool." We're like, "Oh."
Yeah.
I mean, you still paid like thousands of dollars to be here. Why not listen?
I know.
And then they were like, "Yeah, we heard like 2 songs, but we're like literally on our phones." So I guess it was just not their music.
Yeah.
But I understand, Tool is a little bit, it's a hard to get into, I guess. Yeah, not for us.
But they also said they liked Genesis, but the Phil Collins era. They didn't like Yes. It was like they said they never got on the prog train. And so it was like crazy just that some people were there for some bands, some were there for others. Oh, I wanted to mention this. I'm sorry. POWERTRIP was so well organized that there was even an app for POWERTRIP, and that's how you would activate this bracelet.
It's
is
like
with the app,
it's
and it had this location
yeah.
thing, so that no one that didn't have a bracelet
Yeah,
could
they
come
could
in.
track you, and it said you're sharing now your location, and every time a band would come on, like a message would say like
starting in
but
like
no,
2 minutes
but it was
to
like
midnight.
like 2 minutes to midnight for
Yeah.
Iron Maiden, or I don't know,
Back
something
in Black for AC/DC.
yeah,
or
some
something.
kind of like line from
Yeah.
a song.
Yeah.
But so then Metallica, man, oh my god. So the whole stage was like
a
4
U.
times bigger than every other
Yeah.
stage. It was a whole thing that could
Yeah.
walk
like a
So-
horseshoe.
yeah, like a like
Mhm.
amazing.
Mhm.
And so that we saw way closer to us,
Yeah.
because they were basically in the pit but super close to us.
Yeah.
So oh my god, so they started of course with the Ecstasy of Gold, which I uploaded, and their set, oh my god,
Hi, Ken.
was so good.
Metallica's set was amazing.
And the energy, I
the
mean,
energy, everyone was like, "Duh," just like
I was screaming so much,
I
and
had
this
so much fun.
This was my first time seeing Metallica ever, so I was obviously super emotional. Like during, I think one, I was like crying because I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. And pull up the set list. Oh, we totally didn't pull up Tool's set list.
Oh yeah, I actually had it pulled up, but I was like waiting for a chance. If you guys want to know, I'm
gonna shut up talking after I'm done.
Let me read the Tool set list, because you read all of them, and I barely.
And I'm blind.
Jam B. Okay, so Third Eye intro is the song played from tape, and then they opened with Jambi, and then the Pot, 2 of which like we've heard, and I knew like had known even like very well. So then Fear Inoculum, Rosetta Stone, Push It, 46 and 2, Pneuma, right?
Pneuma.
Yeah, Pneuma, I think is how you pronounce this. The Grudge, Invincible, Stinkfist, Swamp Song, and Anima. So 12 songs, no encore.
So just one thing I wanted to mention. So he just said, wow, I hope you're having a good time and it smells delicious, because basically the entire desert smelled like pot. Like I've never smelled so much pot in my life. I was probably stoned from all the smoke. It was just there. Like people were running around like this, but he was like, it smells delicious, because the whole thing just smelled. But he never, during a song, they never stopped. They would play one song after the other. So he never said like, how are you doing, guys? Or it's great to be here.
The songs would basically just bleed into each other.
They would merge into each other.
I like that. It's a cool concept.
I didn't like it.
I just feel like I want to see Tool. Just Tool. Like I don't know that I was ready to take it all in as a full experience as I would if we would see them on their own. I did enjoy it. I did like it. I liked the sound.
I loved it.
But I feel like it was too much, and it was more considered for us like a break, like it felt, because I don't want you to say you didn't like it. I feel like we really should give them another chance.
But I don't say I didn't like it. When did I say that?
No. I don't want you to say.
No, because I mean, the thing is, one of our best friends here in Denver, he just bought tickets today for Tool, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to go?" And we're like, we just saw them.
Yeah. So
so that's why, and I just missed that interaction between the artist and us. I wished it would have been a little bit more like, hey,
engaging.
Like what?
Or at least like other bands did fireworks, fire.
Oh my god!
Metallica.
So Metallica did Metallica. So they start. What was the first song?
Hold on, I don't have it pulled up.
So Ecstasy of Gold was the first song.
Oh my gosh, there's so many tabs. Nick.
That's my. Just type it in.
Okay.
Just so we can tell you guys. Okay, so they started with, I guess they start with that song. So it's a long way to the top, but that's like an audio. That's audio.
Yeah.
And then Ecstasy of Gold, which is Ennio Morricone. and then Whiplash from the first
That was
album, Kill 'Em
amazing.
All, Creeping Death from
Mhm.
Ride the Lightning, Enter
Mhm.
Sandman, then Luz Externa, which
Mhm.
I hadn't heard. That's from the new album.
Uh-huh.
Then
For
two.
Whom the Bell Tolls. Did you
Oh,
say
I
that?
skipped it.
I'm like, I
Yeah,
feel like
For
I would
Whom the
hear
Bell
that.
Tolls from Master of Puppets, then Enter Sandman,
Uh-huh.
Luz Externa, Too Far Gone. We haven't heard that.
Uh-huh.
That's from Fade to Black, and then he even talked about, he's like, we're not supposed to talk about suicide, but we will.
Yeah.
And if you know anyone,
that
please
was-
speak out. James Hetfield is such a
That was
stud,
like
man.
everyone was tearing up. Nirvana was beside
No,
me.
but
like,
between every song, this guy's such a cool guy, and he looked great,
Yeah, he looked very good.
Everybody like in Metallica, they looked like so good. And then Fuel, Fade to Black, and then Fuel, and it's like there was fire everywhere, fire going off on stage. Also, Iron Maiden, their fire show was huge.
Yeah.
But there was like literally like this big flame, and we were like 200 feet away, and we could feel the heat, right, from that flame.
Yes.
Oh god.
Whenever the flame would go, and it was this huge
It was like
thing. I felt like it
burner.
was the size of the room, this
I don't
like
know, yeah.
circle, and it would, and I like would not have known that they set that up for Metallica, because every day everything looked a little bit different, but so yeah, whenever it lit up, it was like I can only imagine the people that were in the pit, like how hot it would have been.
Yeah, so Fuel was
cool.
amazing. Then Orion, their instrumental, super proggy. Then Nothing Else Matters. This is where like Kirk was like it's so hot. Like I don't know if he did it on purpose, because it looked a little bit like because even you play that song.
Yeah,
the
I know,
intro,
I
and
know.
he was missing up the intro.
Messing up. I really want to know if you guys have read about this, because we haven't done much reading. I've just seen things here and there on Instagram, because I've been posting on Instagram that I've been following the hashtag somewhat, but like I really, really want to know, and everyone in our group was wondering if this was on purpose or not.
What?
The false start. Like,
that he messed up?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Metallica, like that's why I'm saying that Judas Priest was my favorite act, even though Metallica is one of my favorite bands and they got me into metal before Priest and Maiden. They're making a lot of mistakes. They're playing like, I don't know, sometimes they're a little bit too fast, a little too slow. Like Orion just had a little, but it's Metallica, I really can't say anything. They're just so good. So, and Kirk Hammett, he always messes up his solos. He always kind of plays whatever he wants, but that's just them. So it's not like going to see Dream Theater where everything is perfect. When it's Metallica, I really don't care, because they're so good at what they do. They have that luxury of saying, let's just mess it up. So, and then, so they played Nothing Else Matters. Then they played this improvised song, Kirk Hammett and Robert Trujillo, just for us. There's like, we just made the song up. It's called the Desert Blues Song.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, Kirk made up the name, and they played like this really cool blues just for us for that night. And then that was super. You got that on tape.
I got it on tape. And they said that they do that like
every time,
I guess they make up a song for the venue that they're going to.
He said it's like watching street musician, but it's us. So. And they're cool. Super nice, and I loved how well they talked about the other bands. He's like, we're here, we've been here
with our idols. Oh yeah,
with our idols.
There were pictures of them on Instagram, like every day with like front row,
because they went to see Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and AC/DC. And they even talked about like, we're here with the best bands in the world and our idols, and they even mentioned Tool. Like that was so cool. Super like humble,
very humble.
And so then they played Sad But True. I think I uploaded that. And The Day That Never Comes, Hardwired, Seek and Destroy, One, and then Master of Puppets. So
that was a lot of
that set was so
I want to go to another Metallica concert. I would go tomorrow.
Me too. Metallica, I would every time they come, we have to see them.
Yeah.
Because their energy is so true and so good and so positive, and his voice is so perfect, and everything, the drumming and Robert Trujillo and Kirk. And like I said, I really give him a pass. Kirk Hammett, he doesn't need to play perfect, because they already sound so good that
Yeah.
everything else they do doesn't really matter
Yeah.
because it's so tight, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
And like Frank says, artists do mess up for one reason or another.
yeah.
So and
Well,
Michael,
not bands like Steely Dan, you know.
yeah,
Like
that's true.
it's because like when we saw Kansas, not one mistake. Not
Yeah.
one mistake. There's like
Mhm.
these bands that just play literally like the CD,
Mhm.
and it's a trip to see that,
Yeah.
like Brit Floyd or Get the
Mhm.
Let Out. So, and then there's band that just like a little bit more clunky, you know,
Yeah.
on purpose or maybe because they don't care. I mean, they're multimillionaires. They don't
Mhm.
need to be there. They're just
Yeah.
having fun.
I agree.
You see?
I
So
agree.
yeah.
Yeah. So Michael would like to know if Kirk played the greeny Les Paul Gibson, which belonged to Gary Moore. So I don't know. I don't think so.
A Les Paul? Well, I think we have pictures of Kirk, no?
Yeah. I don't remember seeing that though. But don't quote us on that because
And maybe,
yeah,
maybe.
I wasn't too aware of like the
Yeah.
guitar changes. So I don't
Yeah.
know. But very good question. And then
Like
David,
when you said with Axl Rose, he changed the shirt like 20
oh my
times.
lord. Every time I would look over at the stage, he had
Was
a
it
different shirt on. I was like, what is happening?
I
right
know.
now?"
That's
I'm
so
glad you
funny.
mentioned
Yeah,
that.
because he did. I guess it was so hot. He was like, okay, now let's put on this shirt. And then he would have white shirt. And then he
But
had rings
several
on.
changed
And
their
then he had,
outfits.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But he like was insane.
he got went a little bit extra on the.
David is asking if the pit was very big and out of control. Okay, so every day there were more and more people entering the pit. Whenever you would have the app, like they would send daily updates, like, oh, parking is opening earlier today. And one of the things they were offering was pit access. So
Oh,
you
yeah, you could
could
upgrade
your ticket to go to the pit. But for me, it was like, I don't know. I feel like Yoda said, they should have included in
one
certain
day.
sections that you pay for, they should have included one day of random pit access, like every day. One random day
Mhm.
of pit access.
So that
sorry.
everybody got to feel the
A
pit.
little bit of the
Yeah.
pit, but I don't know. I feel
But
like
at the
that would have
end,
made
they
it
even
crazy.
moved the drums into the ego ramp.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so we could literally see
With
Lars and the
Metallica.
guys like super close.
Yeah.
Like when you would zoom in, you would have their face like this
Yeah.
because you're really close.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's YouTube videos of people in the pit filming the entire show.
Yeah. But
So
it wasn't out of control. The pit was
no,
not out of control. The pit was
no.
very controlled. People were just talking to each other sometimes during concerts.
It
Like
was
it was very chill.
yeah, there was no like
Yeah.
what is it called when they do that?
Slam.
There were
Yeah.
no slams. It's because it's also look, I mean, these bands are all from the 70s and 80s. And so the people there were not just like, you know, teenagers and 20-year-olds like, you know, getting high and punching each other. It was more, it was controlled
Yeah.
because it's the demographic of people were just, it was older people.
Yeah.
And then and all the young people I think were all the way in the back if there were young people, you know, because these bands are all very old, you know.
Yeah. Jim X is very like true when he says that when it's live, you do want it raw. You don't necessarily want to hear it like it's on the record every time. This is true. But you can always appreciate when bands are able to sound like the record when you go, but a little extra or a little rawness.
I know,
is
like
what it's all about.
That's what I said.
agree.
Like for example, like when if Metallica, if they make a mistake, or if like Kirk is playing, you know, and it's just so weird because I've always seen Kirk in like videos on YouTube. He's always kind of like, I don't know, like out of pitch. Like I don't know why. Like I don't know why, but that's just the way he plays, you know.
Yeah.
So he's like, I guess, not the best, you know, but he's just perfect.
Yeah.
If you compare him like against like Marty Friedman of Megadeth or all the guitar players in Megadeth, they're so freaking virtuoso, and he's more like a blues player, you know, playing in the metal band with a crybaby, and that's him, and that's perfect. And I don't want anything else. It works. And if they, you know, if they made a couple of mistakes, or if AC/DC made mistakes, or even Maiden. Although Maiden they sounded
Maiden
just
sounded
like the
amazing.
record.
Yeah.
But
Murdoch.
I don't care about that. If bands make mistakes, it's more like kind of like, oh, whoops,
Yeah.
that happens.
And then just move on, because that happens at rehearsals too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And it was very hot. Like, honestly, it was hard to, like, we didn't even go out during the days while we were there. It wasn't like, I had the idea of going to a date farm, because in Palm Springs there's a lot of date farms and I love dates.
And you're like, no way.
Nobody wanted to
Look
go.
at this
I didn't want to
dog.
go.
Look at him.
I know. Oh, Murdoch was asking a couple things. How did Marley spend the 3 days? We didn't take him with us. We left him here with family, with my dad. It was very hot. I was very happy that we didn't take him, and that was one of the reasons.
He's already used to this climate here, which is very cool. And look at him.
Yeah, he's an angel. So Murdoch also had a hilarious comment. He said, 20 shirts in 1 hour, 1 album in 20 years. Guns N' Roses.
In a nutshell, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
There was just like, because even a guy that I saw the other day on YouTube who was talking about this, that's like, it just didn't age well, And it said, and Iron Maiden they have released 17 albums, and Guns N' Roses have released 6 albums. Wow. There you see the creativity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
17 albums, like Rush,
Yeah. Michael wants to know if they played Whiskey in the Jar.
No.
Yeah.
No. I thought they would, because it's such a big song.
Yeah.
Even though it's a cover of a cover, it's a Thin Lizzy cover. But Thin Lizzy covers it as well. I learned this in the response with Thin Lizzy.
Oh, Lee and Mike in the house.
Yay!
I love copying me. That's hilarious. Hello, Lee and Mike.
Eagles
We're
rule.
very
Hey,
excited for Monday. Eagles rule sounds like a blast. No duds.
All in all, I must say this was a 10 out of 10 experience.
Yes.
I loved all the bands.
I would do it again.
I would totally do it again. I just told this to a friend of mine, and he was like, I could not do that. Like, Adam, he said, okay, I could not do that. I don't know where you get the energy. And I was like, you get the energy from the music. It's exhausting. And we were like down. We were like literally like, what? For 2 days, we were like totally dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and then the drive back through the desert again, no air condition. We were not like almost killed, thank God.
Oh yeah,
the McDonald story. That's such a bizarre story.
I know, that is such a crazy story. But yeah, it was like during the days, I just wanted to be at the pool. I just wanted to like chill, just sleep, and lay back and take it easy and sleep in. But I also was very excited to see my old friend Yoda. So it was like, I did want to take advantage of the time, and
we did.
And we definitely did. Yeah. I don't feel like we wasted anything at all. But
the drive back, I think Yoda he wanted to go home, see his daughter.
He was sick.
And he was sick. Yeah, I was the only one. I don't know what in the world, like everybody was sick except me.
I got there.
Everybody was popping pills, honestly. But my defenses are on a different level. And even when I talked to Yoda yesterday, he was like, "Oh, I'm barely like getting rid of this cough," and I'm like, and he's like, "You with your German," I don't know what he said, with your
immune system.
Yeah. But yeah, so I never got sick. Not even my throat, nothing. And you were sick.
I was sick. I was sick like weeks before because like from work,
That's
and like
crazy.
And then
I never got sick.
Kept blaming me, and then I kept denying it, and now I'm finally like, okay, I had something to do with that. But it was just okay. And then also on the plane back, so the way back was eternal. Like it took us a very long time. I forgot a suitcase at the Airbnb. We had already driven like 30 minutes to drop my sister and her fiance at the airport in Palm Springs because we were flying out of San Diego and driving back with Yoda. And I forgot my bag at the Airbnb and my tennis shoes, and we had to drive back and then drive like again, so that made it a little bit longer. But
and then he was just going like,
but the heat, the heat was just insane.
And it was so where we are in Coachella in Indio, it's basically below sea level, so the heat just
Yeah.
you're like trapped in this
Yeah.
like because there's mountains all around you and you're like in this valley of death.
Yeah.
Literally. Like and
Actually, there's a Death Valley. We were in Death Valley.
well, I
like
guess that's why
desert.
they call it because it's so
Yeah.
hot. And I was like, who would come here and stay here? Like
Like
who
to
was the
live.
first
The
person?
house that we were staying in was insane.
It was like a 3 million.
in Denver. That would have been like
Yeah, like
3
a
million.
3
for
million, but
sure.
there at 800,000.
850,000.
That's
Yeah.
insane. Like
It was crazy.
because but I was like, so who came here on a horse and decided,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like it
who
here.
Settled here.
I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna call it Indio. Like who in the
Yeah.
hell
But
would
like
do that?
I know.
Yeah.
It was nice though. Like it was.
No,
it
I would
was,
not live there even if you paid me.
No,
I
I
would
wouldn't
not
live there. It was nice to visit.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course. But I mean, I was just like, who in their right mind would live here and work here? Because we
Yeah.
went to like Starbucks or
Yeah.
there's people who live there, you know, and they just live there and then they go home and that's their day, you know,
Yeah.
like that's their reality.
Yeah.
But it's just too hot to live.
It was very.
But I mean, we
very
again,
hot.
the heat was, I think, as much as when we were living in Mexico. That's how hot it was. I think we're just so used to this
I don't
climate.
think Puerto Vallarta gets to the hundreds. It was in
And-
105 degrees.
Yeah.
In Puerto Vallarta, it's 95,
And we have the breeze,
humid, 98,
humid, yeah.
like maybe.
No, that was it
100,
was
but
dry.
It was dry, and it was not what we were used to, but it was a lot of fun.
was
I
so
would
good.
absolutely do it again. On the flight back, there were obviously a lot of people wearing these bracelets. We just took them off like a couple days ago
Yesterday, I
because
was
they
like-
were this fastens so that you can't loosen it.
Mhm.
So once you put it on, you
can't
can't
take it
it off to share it with someone else, right? Or to sell.
That's
like, your
actually
ticket.
very
Yeah.
it's very
So
smart.
when you like are there and so many people fly there, obviously the flights that you're on, people will also be there with you. A lot of people at the airport with the POWERTRIP shirts and everything. So it was like just crazy because there were people there, and one guy asked another girl, would you do it again? And she was like, I don't know. It depends on the bands. And that's so true because it is something to think about. It is exhausting.
Yeah, I wouldn't
you
go.
know?
I wouldn't go see like.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Mhm.
If they do it again, it has to be something like
Yeah.
Black Sabbath. You know,
Yeah.
like big. You know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go see like I don't know
Mhm.
the Offspring. You know?
Yeah. Yes. It would have to be.
But then
or
again, maybe there's people that are fans of the Offspring,
Like
and I love the Offspring.
Coachella, but I don't know what time of year they do that. And
Yeah.
obviously they can't do a concert like this in the summer, you know.
No, you would. Die.
Yeah. But there were people, we didn't even mention this. There was a Ferris wheel there. There was a bunch of things. There were people camping there.
Yeah, there were
A lot
hundreds
of
and hundreds of
campers,
campers.
tents.
Those ones that expand. They have like
RVs.
like these
Yeah.
really expensive
Mhm.
stuff.
Very
yeah.
nice. And then with
Mhm.
a lot of decorations on the top, like a ghoul with lights.
And they were doing wet
and-
T-shirt contests, and
They were trying
people-
to organize a
Yeah.
wet T-shirt contest.
and some people had karaoke. There was a place that would sell like beer, and they had like you could jam with instruments.
Oh, yeah.
So there was
Oh,
a
the
lot of
Modelo
stuff that we
tent.
didn't do because
Yeah.
we were such a large group. So we didn't want to get separated too much.
Yeah. We did take a picture at this like thing though that says
The cactus?
POWERTRIP, the cactus.
Yeah.
There
let's
was a
post it.
huge cactus like this from my pin. Basically this that would underneath it say POWERTRIP, and you could take pictures. So yeah, it was just an amazing experience. I feel like it was
Like
just
Woodstock.
unforgettable, and it was so short-lived, but at the same time lengthy.
How long was Woodstock? 5 days?
3.
3?
3.
Like
And I was
this?
just wearing my Woodstock shirt, and David said
you
he
want to
was
show
at
them
Woodstock.
the shirt? Like, I mean, I can turn around.
Yeah.
I guess. Let's see. You
Oh,
see it?
hold on. Let me remove this. Wait.
Can you see it? Do I have-
Now you can see. Yeah,
that
now
thing.
you can see it. So Guns N' Roses was opener, Iron Maiden.
No,
Octo-
Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah, this is backwards.
I know.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, Iron Maiden open, and then here it says October 6th, and then Guns N' Roses. October 7th, it was Judas Priest, and then AC/DC, and then the 8th, it was Tool, and then Metallica, and then it says Empire Polo Club Indio.
Yeah, they
What
did
a,
it.
and
The
it's all
shirt,
washed out. It's
the
so
shirt. Like I don't know
cool.
why they did they put on the shirt the
Yeah.
bands in order,
Yeah.
different order. Right?
I know.
Oh,
I don't know why they did that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. Murdoch is out of here. Kent is out of here. And thank you guys so much for joining us. This was like a lot of fun sharing our experience with you guys.
So yeah, I'll post all the videos, I
Yeah.
guess, maybe for a day, you know. I mean, the
There's
thing
a
is
lot
when
of
we do
video.
a reaction, it kind of like takes that spot of the you're
Mhm.
not gonna get notified. So if we do like 2 reactions, then
Mhm.
I guess I can just post them all
Yeah.
today, and then people can just watch them.
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
I'm just
And
gonna
then
post them all, and
we
then you
were
can watch everything.
also thinking of maybe posting a separate like unboxing video of the box. Like I don't know if like we're still gonna do that, but like this was a lot of fun sharing with you guys live and answering your questions. So if you guys like want to ask us any more questions, if you're watching the replay, please ask your questions in the comments and we'll make sure. But look, this makes sense what Great Scott said. They put the headliner first.
Oh, yeah.
And then the opening act, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. But yeah, this was amazing. Thank you all so much for joining
So
us. It was unforgettable.
On Tuesday, I guess we'll tell you all about Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Peter. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
It's gonna be amazing. And
is
then
that in a stadium or is it smaller?
It's at the arena, ball arena. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a stadium guy.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And Yes is
Yes is in October as well, October 26th. Oh, and I just remembered someone left in the comments. I think it was Great Scott as well. That they're coming. Metallica is coming in November. Denver, November 18th, and Colorado Springs, November 19th.
Oh, we have to.
That would be fun. Yeah.
Well, and it's so and also the that date on Alexia's birthday, that was the last date on their tour. They finished their tour on your birthday.
Yes.
Because I saw
it
cool. Said like future something, I don't know the name of the tour, Future Past or something. And then it says at the end, Indio, California, and your birthday. And I was like, wow, we caught literally the last show of that tour.
Yeah.
So cool.
I know. Oh, Scott says it's not Metallica that's going to be there on November. It's Trans-Siberian Orchestra. We have so many concerts coming up.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra. But we saw, I know everybody tells us that they're amazing, but we saw them live. We did a reaction. It was like
underwhelming, you think? I don't know. I feel like live could be a different experience.
Because Christmas music, like I love Christmas music, but metal Christmas music,
I don't know. So I don't know if Nick is gonna want to pay for that.
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. The concept is just.
You guys have to convince him, because I know Great Scott wants us to watch them, and a couple other people have told us don't miss the show. Even Lee is saying Trans-Siberian Orchestra is awesome. And Nick is hiding now behind the So thank you all so much. This has been a lot of fun. It really was amazing to go there. Everything was, like I said, very well organized. Oh, there were even flushable toilets, like little trailers with air conditioning in them, and bathrooms. I don't know. It was wonderful.
Box.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys, Steely Dan didn't play. Donald Fagen got sick. He was hospitalized.
Yeah.
So Michelle Crow played those 2 dates here in Denver.
Yeah.
So
everything happens for a reason.
Yes. So we didn't miss them. That was crazy. And he's out of the hospital now. Donald is fine. But that would have sucked because I don't want to see the Falcons. You're right. I don't want to see the Falcons because I don't want to give them my money because they're so greedy. And
Yeah.
I would have gone for Steely Dan. And I think Sheryl Crow's amazing.
Yeah, that
but
would
I
have been
would have
good.
been like, what?
Yeah.
Like, where's my Dan? You know, like I
Yeah.
would have been kind of bummed.
I know.
You know?
I know. But the original plan way back when was to maybe see them at Madison Square Garden because we have yet to see a show there, and we would have loved to be able to fly to New York together and like spend a weekend, and maybe even Frank would have joined us there. But you know, I don't know. Again, everything happens.
Scott,
for a
let's
reason.
try it. Heavy metal Christmas. We should like maybe decorate like very metal this year because
be fun.
Alexia, she decorates everything, the whole house. Looks like
Well, in the bathroom we have the hand like this. That's why I put it like
the
this
Winter
this month.
Wonderland.
Yeah, I know. But
so how long have
an
you
hour and a half. I feel like I need a break. Like, and I don't know, you guys. This was very impromptu. This was out of nowhere. We were wanting to do it this weekend, but it like we didn't think we would be able to pull it off, and we did. So thank you all so much.
Yeah, we still have to do the 2
for
full
joining
albums
us.
and all the Dans. And
yeah, that's why we were like, okay, if we have a chance, let's do it so that we give you guys the content sooner than later, and we still have time to do like what we need to do for you guys. And yes, if we ever go to McDonald's again in the next, like, I don't know how long.
Let's just do the drive-through, man. Like, I don't trust McDonald's anymore. Because there's a story that I have to tell you guys. Back in Munich, and I took Alexia to that McDonald's. So we went to McDonald's, and I think Tobias and I, we were like 7 or 8 years old, and we went to McDonald's on there's this street called Wasserburger Landstraße, and we would always like go there on our bikes. So we went to McDonald's that day, and on that same day, a small plane crashed into the McDonald's, and a bunch of people died, and it's just insane.
Yeah.
And I've always told Alexia that story, and then finally when we went to Munich, I took her to that McDonald's.
I'm like, is that the McDonald's? He's like, yes.
And she's like looking
McDonald's.
for planes and stuff.
Like,
so it's like a joke, which is a tragedy, but now this new McDonald's story is like a news story.
I know. Crazy. Like, I was there and I was so shocked. I was shaking. I wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. Like I told Yoda and Nick, I'm like, let's get out of here. We're leaving. Like we need to leave. Like I don't want to be here anymore. This is not okay. And then as we were walking out of the McDonald's, the girl drove away and left. So yeah, it was crazy. But thank you. So that's what the lady did, the drive-through. Knee slapper, Raider.
She did the drive-through, but I guess she just thought it was through the door. Right. She literally did a drive-through, a drive-by, a drive-by. Let's scrape that McDonald's a little bit, you know.
That is so bad. I'm glad no one was hurt. You know, the airbag didn't really go off in her car. That's why we're laughing, because it was more. I feel like.
It was more like
an accident maybe caused by being intoxicated in some way or another. Because my friend Yoda was like, what if she just wanted to park and she, instead of pressing the gas, instead of pressing the brake, she pressed the gas? But I don't think so, because it was a handicap spot right outside of there.
And she was not, I mean, who in their right mind just like drives into a McDonald's? Something must have been, or maybe she was on her phone. I don't know.
Yeah, but Scott Anderson, thank you so much. Great, Scott. Thank you so much. Raider fan, David, Michael, Lee, and Mike, and Frank, and Kent, and Rudy, and all of you guys who were here with us today. Thank you so much. We know this was last minute, but at least we did it on a weekend instead of doing it during the week. Maybe that wouldn't have been, I don't know. But next time we do a live, we promise to give more notice. Thank you all so much for being here with us, for sharing your time. And yeah, you guys get to bed and continue enjoying your day or your evening. And we hope to see you all in the next one. Nice. We always.
Is that like a new like goodbye?
I don't know. But that was like very well coordinated. Team.
Oh God, big yawn. Okay. All right.
Bye everyone.
Bye.